Hey everybody. Hey everybody.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, you gotta excuse my hair. I'm having a bad hair day today. I was joking with Jesse about that. Uh, so thank you for joining us today. We're gonna give y'all a minute to kind of join in and get ready for this show that we have going on tonight. Um, so please share us. You know, we like to be shared. We like to be shared and share us. Tag your mamas and your friends and your sisters and your brothers. Tag your family. Again, this is a way for you guys to kind of and for us to entice conversation at your social, which at your social table, at your table, in your kitchen, at home, while you sitting around with your friends. What you learned today, please don't keep to yourself. Please share it with your friends as well, and or share the link to so they can watch. Um, Is this bitch on? Because I don't feel like I don't feel like I get nobody talking back to
She's
me.
on. She's
Yeah,
on.
you
Okay.
on.
Is this bitch on? All right. Um, and shout out to our sister organization crew. Shout out to our sister organization crew as well as Project Uplift. Crew stands for Community Resource and Empowerment and Wellness. Um, they are a wellness program that focus on mental health as well as substance use. So if you have anybody that participate or needs mental health assistance, as well as substance abuse assistance, please contact Sean, the number below, and he can punch you into the right direction. That his number is 704-207-6151. Please give him a shout out if you need to access that service or know somebody that needs to access that service, and they can work through you to kind of get them linked to care. Okay. Because you know, if whenever our friends are involved in our um care, then sometimes sometimes it tends to stick a little bit easier and things like that. So if you are a friend and know somebody that can benefit, please help navigate that and be that friend and help them through that process. All right. So not to mention I I do want to highlight that we have research opportunities for people. I have one that I'm spearheading, which is called Prep Mech. I'm looking for individuals who are not on prep between the ages of 18 and 39. I'm just doing focus groups. It is a one conversation and type thing done. Conversation to be about for 2 hours. But guess what? You can earn $100 for joining me in those conversations.
And to chime in, it is the most fun focus group I've ever witnessed. So
So please join in and talk with us to kind of give you a little bit of information about what the study is. Is we have created some content. Myself is featured on it, and I'm not going to give the other person away, but he is on this live as well. We have created some content to start a campaign to get more Black MSM um, involved on prep. And before we run this campaign, we want to make sure that the campaign is going to actually work for our community. So we want to hear from you guys to kind of help us navigate that. Pick it apart. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. What speaks to you. Is this going to make you click on this link to get you on prep? Is it not? I want to know all of that. So that's what the conversation consists of. It is a 2 hour conversation. Of us just kind of having a conversation, us picking apart some content that we've created over the last couple of months. So if you're interested, please hit us up, and we can kind of get you in the right direction and get you scheduled. Now, I come on and I monopolize the conversation about research studies that I got going on. However, we have a whole department that's dedicated to research and have active studies that are going on as well. So I want that person that spearheads that particular program to kind of talk more about what they got going on to see if you guys are interested in that as well.
Hi, everyone. I see that we have Rick Felder on. I don't know if anyone else is in yet, but hi, Rick. Hi, everyone. My name is Jesse. I'm the research coordinator working with Bat Lab at UNC Chapel Hill as their partner, their local partner at RAIN. We're currently enrolling in 3 different studies, 2 for folks living with HIV and 1 for folks who are not on PrEP and who have not been tested for HIV in the last 3 months. All the studies are centered on social intervention, so there's a lot of peer-to-peer interaction anonymously through really neat iPhone apps or smartphone apps. They're fun, easy, engaged studies. So if you're interested in making up to $350 with a cool team and a reason to come see us at RAIN, reach out. My number is below 704-207-8977.
Well, thank you for that marvelous introduction. Hocus pocus. If for the people that don't know, for the young people in the back that don't know, TQ justice. But so thank you for that. But we also have uh, another person that has a program that they're doing as well. I can't see your name for whatever reason. You can go ahead and introduce yourself, TQ.
What's up, y'all? My name is TQ. I am the peer retention specialist. My job is to seek individuals that's been out of care 6 months more and or newly diagnosed, bring them under my care, and provide you with the resources within the community.
Yes.
Thank you, TQ. I need to go ahead and start investing and get my glasses. It's happening now. It's today. Well, go ahead, Justice. I'm sorry.
Hey all. My name is Justice, FP Navigator at RAIN/peer attention specialist. I do a little bit of everything. But my main focus is youth who are newly diagnosed or new to care or have been out of care or simply just need to find care. So I just kind of keep them engaged, keep things moving, keep the ships smoothly. If you got any questions, want to reach me, my number is 704 965 34. Very much.
Thank you, and you're kind of breaking up a little bit too. Every so often. So if you guys have not noticed yet, then you better notice now. We have a new face on Keeping It 100. Let me tell y'all something. This is a gem. She's about to come and shake the table and give a different perspective that we have not had before. So I'm excited to kind of get her in these conversations and talk to her. But I'm going to let her introduce herself. So can Miss Denise introduce yourself today to the people?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Denise Rose, and I'm a peer retention, bilingual peer retention specialist at RAIN. Mi enfoque, voy a hablarles en español, is to reach out to the Spanish community and be able to offer the services that we have for those who have been out of care. So I'm glad to join the team y mi número de teléfono es el 908-505-9065. So my main focus is to reach out to the Spanish community and offer all the assistance that we have at RAIN.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and dive into the conversation or dive into the hot topics portion of today. As you can see, Sean is not with us today. However, we're all gonna tag team hot topics today and kind of get through it and get through it smoothly. Okay, so Sean is missed in person, but his segment would not be missed because we're gonna do it. So first thing first, I don't know if anybody knows or anybody care to know, but my anime fans that are out there, Sailor Moon dropped this morning, the 4th season, and they dropped it into 2 movies. It dropped this morning. So, just a funny story. I'm getting up. I got up at like 4 o'clock this morning to kind of check Netflix to see if it was on, and I seen like the what you call it, the screensaver, I guess, for on Netflix. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad it's there. I'm gonna go back to sleep. And then I woke up to get ready for work, and I put it on not to press play, but to put the screensaver back on my screen, just so I can kind of like reread the description again, look at the beautiful picture, dissect how they're going to be looking inside the movie. It was just an ordeal for me. So I literally read the description probably 18 times this morning before I left out the house. I had to drag myself out of the house because I wanted to stay home and just watch it all day. But that's just me fanning out. But I will be watching it tonight. And some other stuff that we talked about today. We had a movie day. We talked about Sex in the City. I talked about Sex in the City with Justice. Justice is not watching Sex in the City or just starting. So he has a long way to go. First and foremost.
First of all, I finished the series.
Oh, I thought you said you ain't seen.
And both
okay, I apologize. So he has finished the series, both of the movies. So he's getting ready for the reboot that's coming up. They haven't dropped the release date yet, but it is a reboot that's coming up. And I am kind of bummed that Samantha James will not be in part of the reboot.
That's a shame.
She was my favorite, and I am so upset that you told me that today, because like she literally is my spirit animal. You're talking about somebody who is like, yes, that's my bitch. That's my bitch.
You know, it's funny. So like, I have been a fan of Kim for a very long time. That's the person that played Samantha James. I liked her, and my first movie that I recognized her in, and was Baby Geniuses. I don't know if anybody else has seen that movie. I know the young ones haven't. But Denise and Jesse, please tell me that y'all seen it before. Baby Genius. It came out 1999.
I'm thinking of Baby's Day Out.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to look that up right now.
Look it up and tell me.
Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. He got up at 6 a.m. to look at the trailer of Sailor Moon. Like,
but it's a good movie. But Baby Genius is a good movie. But anyway, apparently, Samantha James, Kim, and Sarah Jessica Parker did not get along and didn't get along for a good little minute. So they couldn't put their feelings aside and actually make this money and do a movie that the fans kind of wanted.
That's why.
Yeah, that's why. That is the only reason why.
I love the drama though.
I do love the drama. It's juicy. It's juicy. But apparently, and if you noticed, that in the second the second movie, you really don't see them two in scenes together. And that was because they couldn't stand each other the way they didn't want to be on the set together. Like
that's amazing.
It was that petty, and whatever. So it was kind of hard doing the last movie. I read this stuff because I just was interested in why she wasn't a part of the reboot. But it's been a talk for a very long time. Apparently too, I think somebody had got married in real life, and I think Samantha got married in real life and whatever, and she was like, I think she was asked if she was inviting them to her wedding, and she was like, no, we're not friends. Like, I think that people like it was a whole ordeal. She did it in an interview. I wish I had the clip. I wish I was prepared for the clip, but it was a big ordeal and things like that. But no, they don't like each other. So, but
wow.
Speaking of movies, if you haven't seen Cruella, you are missing out. And let me say this. So Jesse was able to go to the movies to go see it and whatever. And me and him was talking
$5 Tuesdays.
$5 Tuesdays. So me and him was talking yesterday, the day before, I don't remember, about going to go see it and things like that and whatever. And Disney Plus dropped it on Disney Plus, but you had to pay an additional $30 to watch it. And I'm like, it's not worth it. I'm not paying the $30. How dare they? About to buy. I'm already getting paid from the subscription every month. They got $30 for me in 3 months. I don't understand it. But let me say this. It is worth that $30 because last night I buckled down and I went ahead and paid for it and I watched it and I watched it and I watched it.
Is it $30?
Huh?
$30 at the movie theater too?
No.
Jaden, Florin, and I went 3 people, $15 on Tuesdays. If you're a Stubbs member, which is free.
I'm a free. Hold on.
What you say, Justice?
Yeah, you keep breaking up.
We good.
I think so. You have your earphones in?
No, I can't.
You can't find them, and I think that's what it is. It's picking up, like you're echoing, so it's hitting the wall and it's messing up your sound. But yeah, it's overall it's a good movie. I enjoyed the fashions in it. I enjoy it. It wasn't what I expected. I don't want to talk about it too much for people that have not seen it yet.
TQ and Denise, have you all seen it?
I haven't.
I have not.
Okay.
Okay. Now that I'm gonna go and get it on Disney Plus right now.
Johnny's convinced you. If Johnny hasn't convinced you single-handedly, I mean, it really is so good. It is such a good movie.
Yes.
I mean, the previews, you can tell. Now, I was kind of disappointed when you guys were talking about A Quiet Place. I'm like,
I don't do scary movies, so I definitely haven't seen that one.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not really scary. It's just kind of suspense. The first one was anyway, but I understand the second one is trash. Yeah, so
Typically, when they do it,
talking about Quiet Place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah, trash.
I need to Google it now.
Trash.
The first one was good though, but I'm looking forward to seeing Cruella.
Yeah.
Just the previews, and you can tell the colors. I like the that vivid red and
the fashion. It's
yes.
It's like spitting out fashion. Like
it's alive.
It throws up fashion. It's
Isn't
everything.
she? No, she's not the Tim Burton's wife, or was his ex-wife.
Who? Emma Thompson?
Emma Thompson.
Isn't she? No, that's not her.
I don't know.
Because typically the movies that have to do with Tim Burton have a lot of colors in them. I'm one of his fans. I just love everything he does. So I'm gonna look at it tonight and see exactly all who's involved and follow up on it.
Do you have to pay $30 per view, or you already paid that $30? You can watch it as much?
No, you own the movie.
Oh, really?
Can you go ahead and your login information so I can watch it tonight?
Oh, I wasn't.
Yeah, that part.
Oh, wow.
That's a plan.
We can talk about that offline. How about that? So today is the first day that you guys see us this month. So we wanted to go ahead and let you know that we are celebrating Gay Pride Month for the month of June. Rainbows everywhere. You know what though? I have been surprised at the support that these big corporations are putting up and doing. Here's the thing, and I know, and I'm okay to talk about that with you. I'm totally fine. YouTube, the little thing was rainbowed and things like that. You know, Google always putting something up. I've seen Facebook logo has some little cute little animation and things like that. And you know, I it makes me smile. I like to see things like that. But you know what? I remember a conversation that we had last year, and I think Taylor Swift had dropped a song, the month of Gay Pride, and it was like a gay pride, supposed to be like a gay pride anthem, things like that. And y'all know I hate Taylor. I ain't gonna say I hate Taylor Swift. I'm not a big fan of Taylor Swift. But I felt like people so long have tried to capitalize. Like I thought it was very strategic that you dropped this song, Gay Pride Month, and whatever, and you know, and making money off of it and things like that, and whatever. And like, you know, but I do know that she has causes, she fights for things like that, and I get it. But I think that was just my opinion on Taylor Swift because I'm not a big fan of hers. But what were you about to say in regards to these corporations supporting Gay Pride Month? I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
I'm going to say that it is all a facade. They just want your money. They feel like if they show that they're supporting, the LGBTQ community, then people will flock and buy this LGBTQ stuff. And then when Pride is over, you act like it happened. It's just a money thing. Like,
Justice, I completely agree.
I would only support, um, someone like who's trying to sell me like pride related stuff if I knew for a fact that they were an LGBTQ, friendly or positive organization. Fucking who was it? One of them corporations did it, and then not too long ago, their CEO, I can't even see. I'm not even gonna say it because I ain't got the facts to back it up. But I just feel like when you get into shit like that, excuse my language, you gotta keep that image up. And I feel like let's use YouTube for an example. It's like YouTube might show you all this support now, but then next year or 2 years later, you hear some secret shit about somebody saying, "Oh, you a faggot," or this and that and the third, and then that shit comes to light, and it's like, "Oh, but what about that time you was trying to get my support for Pride?" So rather than get myself into that, I'm just not gonna support them at all. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. I'm about to get long-winded, but you get what
I'm sweating at when Pride season comes around, it's like all about rainbow capitalism, and people think that they can put up a fucking rainbow and not actually mobilize queer people and provide resources and create impact. And you're right, Justice, people like Johnny will see a rainbow on Facebook and it makes you smile because visibility feels good. Correct. But visibility without impact, without holding space is fluff. It's bullshit. And it also takes away from the organizations that are actually doing the work.
I agree. I like
Indeed,
that.
they even have a flower arrangement from FDD Flowers, and I've never seen that before. You have Ugg selling T-shirts, so it's all like just like let's all cash in on this. Let's make that money off of this. For organizations that I've never ever seen them even remotely announce something when it comes to Pride. But all in a sudden this year, apparently it's popular. So let's try to make a dollar off of it.
Like what are these like? Where's this money going that you're making off of these Pride?
Thank you. That's indeed.
Going back to the gay community, or is it going back to these corporations that felt like, oh, that was a good move? We did that. Now look, we've exceeded our numbers for the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Not to mention, these corporations are also asking Black, trans, queer folks for their voice and for their workshops and their art, and not paying them. So they're still sitting on the backs of the people that they've always sat on the backs of, to pretend like they give a shit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And one of the things that I think about as you guys were talking is like, a lot of these corporations now, and if they don't have it now, they are definitely outdated. But have a gay straight alliance portion, or a club inside of their corporation. I know that when I was working at Avid Exchange, but no way, shape, or form, when I first started, had a gay straight alliance, and things like that. And it was a new up and coming corporation, so it wasn't like it had been here for years, things like that. I think prior, when I was working there, they were just 5 to 7 years old. And so, and I had the pleasure and within, of working there and watching it grow and get bigger and things like that and whatever. But, so I say that to say, I think that it is important. So we started a gay straight alliance there at Avid Exchange, and that was to get Avid involved in the conversation of gay rights and things like that, and having them looking at and paying attention to our voices and whatever. Also making sure that they are participating inside of the Pride Parade, making sure that they're participating in different organizations and donating to organizations that that's out doing the work and things like that. And I often wonder. I know that actually Ally Bank does the same thing. They've been a good partner of ours and things like that. So I often wonder corporations that I think I'm talking about Coca-Cola, talking about bigger corporations. Do they have these entities? And are they giving these entities? And it's one thing to just have it, just to have it because it's cute to have it, or or to have or make sure that you're able to make sure that you're able to check that box that says diversity in your corporation, or is it, or are you really giving them, acknowledgement and power to kind of make a actual change in your corporation to make sure that it is and stay friendly and maintaining that. So I think that I would hope that this month at least start the conversation for things like that and corporations and and I think that a lot of times it takes it does take head start or something like this month can be that head start. Yeah, it may not happen once, it may only happen once every year, but it's happening, and I do think that it does start the conversation, entice conversation around the LGBT community.
I agree. Visibility is important, and you're right. This is a great time to have these hard conversations and call the bullshit.
Yeah, but I also challenge us to make sure and hold these places accountable for maintaining. Don't just do it for this month and things like that. And or if you don't have a gay straight alliance, it's in your organization or active in your organization, start one, get it off the ground, so that you can maintain these conversations and actually start doing things and giving back to communities and things like that. You have the resources, you have the money. If you really looking to make a change, you really looking to support where you can, and we appreciate that. Thank you. Somebody said they agree too. Um, so we talked about Coella, we talked about Pride, we talked about this, we talked about that. I think that was one thing that we was missing today.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got a new video that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a little exclusive clip that we're going to play. So before I'm gonna let the work speak for itself. I think that that's important. As I am I love art, I love music, I love videos, I love anything, all of that. So I don't want to introduce and kind of give you an idea of what you're looking at. I'll let the work speak for itself. So just give me a moment while I load it up.
Embarrassed. Oh my God. Nope. Wrong one.
Oh.
You look at your fast. See, now I'm really embarrassed because you fucked it up.
That's the wrong one. Hold on, it's the wrong one.
There's an actual music video, Johnny. That is a lyric video.
Oh, and it says it at the bottom. So I just saw video.
Mm.
It's me. It's me.
Remember, do not play the beginning part.
It's me.
Do not play the beginning part.
I just sent you the link in the chat, Johnny. If that's helpful.
I see it.
I'm gonna let you watch it before you share your screen, and so you know where to stop and then start it.
Oh no, I see it. I'm looking. I'm doing it now.
Okay. Yeah.
Justice, just call it art, and it's for everyone's eyes.
Cause whoa.
I'm a professional.
Unless there's a trigger warning, then that should be said now.
There's no trigger warning. Oh my God.
So being that we got you on here, we can question you.
Oh my God.
Do a nice little exclusive right quick. A nice little exclusive, real quick exclusive. I mean, something a little light. What was your So first and foremost, well, I'm not gonna do that. What was your inspiration behind this video?
A very popular early 2000s TV show. Did you recognize that show?
Yeah, I definitely recognize it, but I want you to say it.
Oh, it was inspired by The Proud Family, which was one of my favorite shows growing up. And I was supposed to be Oscar Proud, obviously. Oscar Proud is a dreamer, with proud snacks and just, trying to get his own thing going. And that's what I am. And the song, I guess it fit perfectly. So I took the intro, like the Destiny's Child Solange part, and then there's a part in the intro of Proud Family where he goes to the door and he opens the door, and every episode is different people as he opens the door. So
yes.
I took that one little part and I made a whole music video because I felt like it represented when you're trying to do shit or stuff. When you're when you're trying to do things, you're trying to be productive. It seems like everybody from you. Everybody is not considerate of your time. Sometimes I'm not considerate of people's time. I know, but I feel like it's a natural thing to kind of just feel like people owe you something just because you know them. So Wizard Kelly represented, people who want you to be something you're not. The Gross Sisters represented your friends and family who always want something from you, despite whether you have it or not. You got it because we family. And Sticky was just an extra. But yeah, that was my inspiration. Sorry for my long-winded answer.
No, that
Congratulations,
was
Justice.
That was awesome, man. Job well done.
And that was a nice Trudy. But yeah, it was good. The vocals are on point as always. I wish I was in the background. But no, it was very nice. I liked it. Very well put together. It looks like you can tell the artistic side of it, right? And I think that's what I like the most about it. It's simple, but you can see, you can clearly see what is it drawing from and how it actually fit. Into what the song is actually about.
Intentional and have Proud Family playing in the background. If people didn't get it, they could watch it a couple times and realize, oh, so there's a part in the video where I get sucked into the TV as I'm watching Proud Family, and that's how that happened.
And for anyone watching, the sound quality is obviously a lot better if you go directly to the link, which, Johnny, can we post that link?
Yeah.
Because I just know that the production on the stream was pretty rough, but it looks gorgeous.
There's
on the original.
There's also a sneak peek, a little gem at the end of the video because I'm that bitch.
We love a sneak peek. Just a tip.
Yeah, it's just the tip.
There you go. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, and actually Twitter, all of them, you'll be able to kind of click that link. It shows up as a hyperlink inside the comments. So be look out for that because it's there. Yeah.
Thank you.
I haven't seen it all the way through. I'm probably going to see it after we get off tonight. Well, congratulations and continue to prosper in what you got going on, and we're gonna support you no matter what. We're getting ready to try to figure out what we're gonna do with our theme song.
I've been talking about that.
I know. All right. So today was a long hot topic session, but I'm okay with it. We're gonna be talking about sex positivity and health. So that's today's conversation, and I want to know. I think that sometimes people have a different perspective, and no, we oftentimes have a different perspective of what sex positivity means and what that look like. Because I kind of want to know what that means to you guys and what that look like for you.
Sex positivity, for me, it means like knowing that sex is natural and being grown enough to talk about it freely. I should be like, oh, like sex. Like we all got here because of sex. So I think, just being positive and also like not, making somebody feel less than just because they are free with, their sexual desires or, sharing their sexual escapades, whatever. And, that, not calling somebody a hoe just because they like to have sex. I think that's what sex. You just looking at sex in a positive light.
And I think that's, and I agree with you on all of that. I also think that there are other things that we can kind of dive into when it comes to sex positivity. I think one of the things that I like to preach about, talk about sexual health, and healthy sexual, and what that looks like to me is, I think oftentimes people get so caught up in getting tested, and I always bring it home and things like that. But I think getting tested is another component of sex positivity and being a healthy sexual. Only because I think we have, and I think people in the field, I think people that work in this, that work in these positions, sexual health, public health positions, have literally made villains of people that get STDs, right? And shame them in different ways. Not necessarily shame them like, oh, shame on you, but more so like, like our language and how we say things and how we present what an STD is and how we present, oh, you got an STD, and like how we present that in that presentation. It does not have to be the way that it is, and we are actually perpetuating that STDs are nasty and STDs and are ooh ah that they are dirty and whatever. I think that we have to celebrate a person getting tested, finding out a positive diagnosis, whether that's positive for gonorrhea, syphilis, and them getting it taken care of. That's something to celebrate. It's not something to look upon or things like that, because if they took initiative to get tested, they caught something, they got it fixed, and they can go out and have the same sex they was having right before. It don't have to be a lifelong lesson about, oh, I did this and I was so wrong, and woe is me, I'm never having sex again. It don't take all of that, and I think that get lost in the message, but it also get lost in how we deliver that message as workers in this field about a person having an STD, STI. That is my spiel on sexual health.
I want to answer your original question, which, Justice, I also totally agree with everything you said. I think sex positivity started as like a movement against the stigma around sex, and then it became a lifestyle for some of us, and now it's almost like an act of courage to talk about sex and to do all the things you just said, Johnny, which is get tested and know your status around STIs and HIV. And Denise and I were talking about this, and I can talk about this topic forever, which is why I'll try to answer last on every question today. But there, like, sex itself doesn't really have a definition. Like, what is sex, and like, how does that look? So then when you're being sex positive, what are you being positive about, or what are you promoting necessarily? And I think you're right too, Johnny. It gets messy. It gets really muddy in how we deliver the message. So I think it's first important to define what sex is, if that's even possible, and then to go deep into what sex positivity is.
And that is something to really say. What is sex?
Sex is natural. Sex is between two people who feeling each other, want to feel each other, and
or 10 people, or 50 people.
It could be
right, multiple.
Right.
Correct.
What,
Or by yourself.
you know, something to get the endorphins going, burn calories.
To me, sex is pleasure. It represents happiness. Is it should give it's joy. So this whole concept about sex being dirty and all this taboo around it that we have had for years. I don't know. It's 20th century. It's time to get to the point in which you can talk about sex without people feeling embarrassed or that
Feeling
conversation should
judged.
not take place. Yes,
I just got
it really
butterflies when you said pleasure. Sex is
it,
pleasure. Like it made me
it
feel
is.
like, oh, that is
Yep.
sex.
It's a sense of relief for me.
Exactly. A sense of relief. All of those, it should have all good connotations because actually that's what it does. It makes us healthy in so many ways. Physically, mentally. It's something that
Emotional.
honestly we should do as much as we.
If it's all those things.
Yeah, I think it definitely fits all of those things. But I also want to say this. I think it's also being able to live in your truth, like and being happy with that,
Right.
and not fearing that and things like that. I think we and you know what? I get so tired of saying this bullshit. It's unreal. This whole Bible Belt South thing. I'm tell you something.
Yeah.
It's like we say this every single day. I think we going to meet and talking about this and things like that and whatever. And I'm so tired of saying it. But I know it's our reality and things like that. But we've been saying it for 10 years. We've been saying it for 20 years. We living in the Bible Belt, in church and sections like that. We have we recognize the problem as it relates to sex positivity and how it's so hard for our mindsets to change that because of where we live at. But we all are aware why why we can't, why we're not, why it has not changed. But what are we doing to make that change and step into the next direction? And moving to that direction. I think that's what we need to be focused on is how do we invite sex positivity in our environment that we live in every single day, um and things like that. And I think one of the things that it starts off with is being able to talk about sex with your friends freely, not quietly, not in the car, things like that, at a dinner table, the same way that we talked about Coella today. Why is it so inappropriate to talk about sex? Why is it so inappropriate? And I think that that's one of the things that kind of hinder us from moving into that direction of everybody being sex positive because we so scared it's so inappropriate.
And then within that too, it's like you have all types of physical sex as well. And then those are all shamed on different levels, as well as frequency and rate and the amount of sex you have. It's all shamed in different ways all the time, starting with quiet conversations, because why should we be quiet?
Right.
It's something that most humans do.
Every human does.
Exactly.
Asexuality is
It's a
definitely
thing.
real.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, it's definitely a thing.
But isn't masturbation considered like touching yourself? So is that not? Don't asexual people masturbate?
I think everyone's different.
Yeah, I think I would say that I think it depends on their journey and what they're looking to get out of it. Because again, there are people that have never, that have not, and not, they're asexual. As a matter of fact, I've had an experience with somebody that was asexual, and I didn't really know what this meant, what that mean, what that looked like, things like that, and whatever. And it was all about and it was all about not doing anything. They watched me get pleasure and they didn't do anything and things like that. And that was weird for me. Like you don't want to touch me, you don't want to blah, things like that. But that wasn't their angle. Their angle, I got pleasure looking at you. I don't want to be touched. I'm not. I don't. I hate to say it, that I don't want to say they didn't enjoy orgasm, but they didn't want that because that's not what pleases them and things like that. And for the love of me, because I didn't understand that, I couldn't grasp what are you doing? You know, I couldn't grasp that. So there are a lot of different things that you know that we're still finding out. I'm still finding out about sexuality, because that is a sexuality and it consists of that. And so, you know, I think it's a revolving, it's a never ending door that we're going to be opening up and talking about, you know.
Who's next?
And no, so I'm sorry. So because because this is so authentic conversation, I'm looking at like the guide of the conversation, and we've like touched on a whole bunch of different stuff just in that one conversation. It's so it's whatever like that. But I like one of the things that is the opposite of sex positivity is like slut shaming, and things like that. And a lot of people can argue the fact that, you know, sex positivity, you know, being sex positive is you're a whore, you're a slut, and and they say sex positive have negative effects. Can we play devil's advocate and see what that means and see what that look like and what is that, and maybe even debunk that?
I don't have time for devil's advocate around slut shaming. Honestly, it is what it is, and it is. If I have shame, I'm gonna shame you.
Yeah.
That's what slut shaming is. That's what sex shaming is. If I didn't have healthy conversations with people that I trust and feel safe with about sex and safer sex and health around sex and STIs and HIV and all of it, and if I have that shame, Johnny, you go out and have sex with someone, then I give you my shame and I shame you. That's what it is. I mean, there's no devil's advocate. It's shame breeds shame.
Yeah. You know,
and also lack of information and misinformation. You know, there are, and I'm sure that we'll get deep into this, but there are myriad ways to have safer sex, and that looks different for every person. That you can uphold sleeping with hundreds of people in any given time span.
Right. Because I think that there's no, and I know we'll get into that, but there's no definite, like sleeping with somebody can mean so many different things, right? And that is a world of things that we can talk about in a second. So a lot of times this get grouped together, and that is sex positivity and body count and numbers and things like that. Why do you think that always get kind of grouped together? Like, why are those always something that people kind of put in sex positivity? Like, why? What is that? And why does it even matter?
To me, it's because you're free with yourself. So if you have a healthy sex life, you're not ashamed or you don't feel uncomfortable about sharing yourself with a lot of people. And that's, to me, that in itself is being healthy, because not only can you discuss it with a lot of people, but you also enjoy having sex, and there's nothing to be ashamed about. So that in itself is a positive and healthy frame of mind. You can have sex and remain healthy, and you can have sex with a number of people, and the shaming coming when you share that with someone and they make you feel like, you know, you're a slut because you had 100 or 70 something people or whatever the number is. But there shouldn't be a reason why someone should make someone else feel not positive or not healthy. And the whole definition of because you have sex with a lot of people, that means that something is wrong with you, that is completely incorrect. Personally speaking, that is just incorrect. That whole thing, something is wrong with your mind, therefore that's why you're having sex with all these people now. That's not, it's actually you learning about yourself and you experiencing the whole you. Some people just choose not to do it, and that's a personal choice.
I like that you said that, 'cause I think about some of the people that I've encountered years and years ago, and think about that was the first thing that kind of came up is, oh, she's out here having sex with a whole bunch of people. You know, she was touched as a kid, or she experienced like some type of trauma, things like that, and that is not always the case at all. I think that um, I'm going to go back to this because I often feel like when people think about sex positivity, the first thing they think about is a person's body count or things like that. I feel like that conversation is always parallel to each other. And what about the people that are sex positive that don't have sex? Like, or are they still a sex positive individual? Like, what is that? And why does the body count has anything to do with what sex positivity is? Can we kind of dig that out?
I think the number is like if I tell you I had sex with 100 people this month, then that adds a shock value that most people aren't used to. Right. So then I think that's where the parallel happens. And I do think that you can be sex positive and be totally celibate or abstinent if you're not shaming these conversations, right? So I think like the opposite of shame is positivity and voice and conversation. And then to answer your original question, like why is body count so significant to most people too? I think, and Denise, I hope I'm not like putting you on the spot, but you and I had a conversation about religion and heteronormativity and monogamy and how the church preaches certain things in the bigger, more popular religions that man and woman sleep together and it's one-on-one and that's it and that's all. And so that's one number. There's no body count.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So anything after that is taboo.
A lot of taboo.
Yeah. So well, supposedly taboo, right? It's I guess on black and white paper it's taboo, but we know that 9 times out of 10, people that I ain't gonna say 9 times out of 10, but there is a significant amount of people that have had sex outside of their marriage, or not necessarily they cheating, but have been divorced and then been re-divorced. So it's things like that, and I think it's still hard for people to kind of understand that what you did in high school still like just because you married and things like that, and things have changed. What you did in high school kind of still like don't forget what you did in high school and college. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you married and saved now and you are in that monogamous one-on-one relationship and y'all together and we're judging the folks that are still doing the things that they enjoy doing that you may have once enjoyed and when you was in college and high school, but that's not your life no more. So you're not getting your life from it.
Right.
And
and it makes it clear that while they were experimenting or doing whatever they were doing before they were, hetero monogamous, it shows that they experienced that under the light of shame, under the guise of shame. I mean, they were shamed while they were doing it. So then they shame other people.
It's honestly really hypocritical, and it go back to what I keep saying, that it's just ways of controlling society. You have religion, you have government, you have all these barriers that tell us what we should do, when we should do it. Humans are sexual beings, and we do choose to love who we choose to love. We do to establish relationships with who we want to establish them with. And sometimes it's amazing to look at how society defines us, that we call it experimenting, but it's just a journey that we are going through by having all these different experiences, whether it's, whether sexual or even love. So I see it as, you were born to really take your body and experiment. I know it's not only about pleasure, but since that's what I get out of sexual encounters or sexual relationship, I think that it should be looked at as more of a positive thing than just something negative. And that's all society have unfortunately taught us all through school, through religion, through even government, that is something negative. We don't have any support in any of those layers of society that says that sex is something positive. is always look at something negative.
Right.
We're taught to hate ourselves, what we look like,
Yes.
what we eat, who we love, all of it.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah. So next week we're supposed to be talking about something totally different, but we didn't even dive into a lot of the things that we could have dived into today. So I'm going to make an executive decision and say that we're going to do a part 2 next week of this conversation, because there are so many other things that we had on the docket to kind of talk about and dive into, and we already are over time just now. And I really want to be able to kind of like highlight these conversations and talk and finish what we started. So we're looking out for part 2 of this. And I don't want to do a part 2 next month, so that that way we're not forgetting our momentum. So I'm going to try to get us to kind of watch the end of this and check off what we went over, so that when we had this conversation next week, we're able to kind of dive into what we could have dived into today as well. We have a little bit more time, and now we have a better understanding of how passionate we are about this subject, that we can give it more time so that we can kind of go into what we need to go into. I also, before we go, I wanted to share this with you guys. Jesse brought up a documentary that we're going to be airing and sharing and given you guys the opportunity to watch with us on between June 20th and between June 18th and June 20th, is when we're going to give out these tickets for you guys to watch the show with us. And it's called, Jesse, what is it called?
It's called Asexplanation.
Asexplanation. And we have, so we want to do a watch party. We wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of watch it virtually or come to the office, and and we feed you while you're here and you watch it with us. We can kind of have a little tad bit conversation about it. And then on Thursday, the 24th of June, the director as well as the moderator in the documentary will be joining us on June 24th to talk about the film and ask questions, and we can be able to ask questions and kind of go through the thick of the why he did it and why it was so important to him and things like that, and what can we do to kind of follow that model and model that. So I want to share with you a clip or a trailer of it, so you guys can kind of get excited about it. We're also going to be posting only on Keeping It 100 free tickets for you to kind of you to click and kind of watch, so that we know that it's going to people that's going to actually watch it and have content to come back to. And then we also want to have tickets for our social circles and our friends and families that may be interested in it. They can kind of watch and hone in on that conversation as well. So I'm gonna show you the clip, and then I'm gonna let you guys go for today. Okay,
Johnny, can I say something before you show it? Because I have to go.
You surely can.
So we were talking about pride, and this is just kind of like a PSA for any viewers. There's a lot of people that aren't safe to celebrate pride, whether that be because of their orientation or their surroundings or where they live. So I just encourage everyone to be mindful about how you celebrate pride and what corporations and organizations you support, and make sure that during Pride Month and forever and always, you support organizations that are creating impact for the queer community.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
Most definitely. Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. So I just want to share this clip with you guys before you go. But because I'm letting everybody else go, this is gonna be the last thing that we do. We're gonna go ahead and let you know that, get ready, getting tested is sexy.
How do you define an orgasm?
Define that for me, sexual being. How do you define sex?
Hi, I'm Alex. America raised me to be ignorant about sex.
The vulva? I think that's what that is.
It's not the vulva.
Vagina majoris? Vagina minoris?
Not quite.
No?
Did you ever think you had to have a sex talk with the kids?
How's that?
dad should do it.
We don't wait for people to say, I'm ready for algebra. We introduce that when they're developmentally ready to take on algebra. Ovaries,
the cervix,
on erection,
clitoris.
But in America, comprehensive sex ed still meets a lot of resistance.
They should stay out of sex. That belongs to the family.
But if you, your parents, and their parents never learned to talk about sex, how do you learn to talk about sex? So, at 36 years old, I'm finally going to confront my fears head on.
For the prostate stimulation, put it in deeper.
You're probably wondering why I came to you.
Yes, I was wondering, Alex.
I do have a lot of sexual thoughts that I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
I think it's time to start asking some questions. For starters, what the America?
There's probably going to be poop.
How do you define an orgasm?
Define that for me, sexual.
So we're looking out for that. We're looking out for those tickets. We're looking out for that show. Again, we're going to be giving out tickets to the viewers of Keeping It 100. We're going to be giving out, or you can come and watch it with us on June 20th, which is going to be on a Sunday. We're also going to be posting flyers and things like that, so you guys can kind of know ahead of time or how to plan your weekend. You can just come and kind of chill with us and watch the movie. We can kind of watch it together. So I'm looking forward to that. If you have any questions beforehand, feel free to hit me up, contact me on my social media, and I can kind of get you to the right direction. Thank you for watching tonight, and you have a nice one.